Here's your word for the day from Calvary in Lake Havasu. Visit us on the web at calvaryaz.com.
Good morning, Calvary. Welcome to your word for the day. So over the past several days, we have been looking at the Passion Week and Jesus' path to the cross. And today we see a portion of what he endured while he was on the cross. I'm reading to you from Mark 15. I'll be looking at verses 26 through 32. So it says this, "And the inscription of the charge against him read, 'The King of the Jews.' And with him they crucified two robbers, one on his right and one on his left. And those who passed by derided him, wagging their heads and saying, 'Aha, you who would destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days, save yourself and come down from the cross.' So also the chief priests with the scribes mocked him to one another, saying, 'He saved others, he cannot save himself. Let the Christ, the King of Israel, come down now from the cross, that we may see and believe.' And those who were crucified with him also reviled him." So what we see here is that in the midst of the most painful death, in the midst of the most humiliating death, it's added to Jesus that he would be mocked and that he would be made fun of. We already know that he truly was the King of the Jews, but now he's being mocked as the King of the Jews. His prophecy that the temple would be destroyed in 3 days, he would rebuild it. That prophecy is being used against him, saying, hey, if you can rebuild a temple in 3 days, why don't you just come off the cross? And then they're just saying, you saved others, why don't you come down from the cross? And they're saying that if he would come down from the cross, then they would believe. In the midst of this mocking, of course, Jesus is silent. He does not defend himself, because I think Jesus knows that he has a better miracle coming. He knows that it's true. He is the King. He is the King of the Jews. He is the King of creation. And he knows that he will rebuild the temple. But he wasn't thinking of the physical temple in Jerusalem where they went to worship. He was thinking of his body. That the temple of the Holy Spirit where God dwelt would be destroyed, but 3 days later it would be raised back to life. It would be rebuilt. And this is truly the better miracle. Not that Jesus would float down from the cross, but that he would rise up from the grave, conquering death. What a much more powerful and amazing miracle. So Jesus has something better in mind. They didn't see it, but 3 days later, they were going to see it on Sunday morning when his tomb would be empty and his body would be risen and it would be seen by his disciples and it would be touched by his disciples, and they would know that God had made a way for salvation. I hope that that encourages you today, Calvary, that you know you serve and trust a living King who died for you but who rose again. Have a blessed day.